what areas of your life do you want to switch up? What do you want to manifest in 2026? Listen, I've seen all the videos about how to make a vision board work, but I'm in my 50s, I'm menopausal, my hormones are like that. I have not got time to get the scissors, to find the magazines, to cut out the magazines, to use the glue. Nope. Okay. It kind of reeks of hustle culture, like go, 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 get. And what I've actually done is I found a method for me, and it looks like this. If you're motivated already, you're a woman over 40, grab a pen, a journal, a drink. I'm going to tell you the 5 easy ways that I've put that vision board together because I want my best year yet. By the way, I'm Marv. I'm a certified coach. Perimenopause hit me like a truck. I realised I needed to stop letting it control me take back control. So that's what I talk about here. So if that's your vibe, hit subscribe. Real quick, actually, what I've done is a little bit of legwork, and in the description box, I've designed a Canva template so you can make your own vision board if you want to go and get started straight away. Right, are you ready? Because each of the 5 steps, they work together. If you do one, the vision board won't work. If you do 2, it won't work. They all go hand in hand. So let's start with number 1. One of the things that perimenopause did to me was block my mind. I did not have straight thinking. So what I've had to try and do is wrangle around what am I going to release before I make room for what's coming next. So think about this. What patterns of behavior are keeping you stuck? Are you saying yes to the same people all the time? People who, if you ran and helped them, but then you needed them, they would not be there. You know who they are, right? Toxic people. We've all got them in our lives. What excuse no longer serves you? Is there an emotion that you're trying to let go of, that you really want to let go of this year? And we're really taught to kind of keep pushing through, never say no. But actually what we are doing then is being detrimental to ourselves because we need to make space and time for ourselves. So we're going to release things. Tell me, what are you going to release? What patterns are you stuck with? What emotion do you want to let go? What is keeping you stuck? What can you let go of? So there are a couple of things that I'm holding that I need to release really hard. Comfort eating. Every time I'm stressed, every time I'm overwhelmed, it's the crisps, it's the peanuts, it's more booze. And actually, you know, it's stress and overwhelm, but I've got to be honest, it's laziness, and honesty is right here. Honesty is right here in the middle of this thing. We've got to be honest with ourselves. And also, for the last couple of years, I've been feeling resentment. Resentment, I love my husband, but I've resented his creative freedom. This guy works full time. He brews beer, comes up with his own recipes, and he makes his own music. He writes music. He goes on rehearsals. He does gigs. What am I doing with my life around creativity? So I've got to release that resentment. Welcome back. So you've got what you're releasing written down, but that is not enough because you're releasing things, but that leaves holes. So what are you going to fill the void with? What are you making room for in 2026? So let's think about that. Because before we try and make a vision board that actually works for us in midlife, we need to figure out where we're starting from, not where we think we might need to be or where someone else expects us to be, right? It is all, again, about the kind of internal inquiry. What are you denying yourself? What dreams and desires have you put on the back burner for way too long? Doesn't have to be the trip to Bali. It could be clearing the house. Your eldest child's gone off to university, gone off to college. There's a lot of clutter in my house. Not ashamed to admit it. I would love to mentally get to a space where we can clear things. You know, really, that should be on my vision board. Maybe I'm going to update my vision board with that. But think about this. It might be something that you want to achieve for someone else. Real quick story. When I moved out of my mum's 25 years ago now, for the very first time on my own, I got laid off and I got dumped in the same week. Now, my mum works long hours, exhausted, but she went over and above to kind of pick me up, to lift me up, to motivate me, to give me all the love. And she's always wanted to go to a place called Blackpool Illuminations, seaside resort, like 5 miles of lights. And I manifested with my vision board the financial means to take us to Blackpool Hotel. I paid for it all. I worked towards that, but I put it on a board and I made it happen. One of the ways that I help my clients figure out where they want to be is by using this very popular coaching tool called the Wheel of Life. Now, you look at the Wheel of Life and you've got emotional well-being, work, fun and leisure time, personal growth, relationships, family, health and fitness, money. And you basically look at those and you rate them 1 to 5. How am I doing in that section of my life? And to be honest, money. For me, money's probably about a 3. And I say that honestly because I'm self-employed. I was facing layoff last year. You'll see the video here where I got the news on the day. There's still a lot of uncertainty around the one particular job that I do. And that has thrown my kind of financial life into a lot of instability. So I'm a number 2 there. Creativity, as I've said, fun, leisure time, I would put that under. That for me is just not where I want it to be. I don't know, maybe it's a 3. So those for me are 2 actions that I want to look at. And the Wheel of Life really does matter because research from Dominican University in California found that people who wrote down their goals and assessed their current progress were 42% more likely to achieve them than those who kept goals in their head. So get them written down. Okay. So you know where I'm at. I've left you a Wheel of Life in the description box, or just draw a pizza slice, cut it into 8, write down all the sections. Pause the video now. So from the areas of focus from the Wheel of Life, what is it you actually want to manifest in 2026? I sat back a couple of weeks ago and I sat down a couple of weeks ago and thought about being more intentional about my health. Is it for you about building new friendships? Maybe you've moved to a new town and you don't know anybody. Maybe you've started a new job and you're like, right, I need to work on getting myself into a position for a promotion within a year. Because often with everything, right, with every promotion comes more responsibility, but more money. Is it about traveling, or is it being more deliberate about protecting your personal peace, implementing boundaries, right? Because we know a lot of people who push our boundaries, who push our buttons, and they drive us mad, but we let them do it. So is it about implementing boundaries and going, okay, how do I make these boundaries stick? So think about that. What do you want to manifest in 2026 for yourself? Whether it's through mind, about your body, about your soul. Let's get those destinations fixed. It could be about finding your purpose, because I felt purposeless a few years ago. I felt I was going in the wrong direction. When I walked into and started plowing myself into academia, I realised actually I need to pivot back to my original profession. Really strange feelings, but you have to admit to those. So what's whispering to you? And not only what's whispering to you, but what does success look like? What does it smell like? And what does reaching that outcome, getting to a successful outcome, feel like? Write down at least one thing. You can do 3, doesn't matter. Pause the video, think deeply about those, and I'll be here when you get back. Okay, you got your destination. How do we get there? You're in the car's packed, you know your destination, but you need the sat-nav to tell you the route. Staying the course and staying motivated around our goal is about having some mental fuel in the tank. But of course, as women on our menopause journey, we're in big trouble when it comes to motivation. Did you know that dopamine, that is the hormone that's behind our motivation, is really compromised through our menopause journey because of the decline in estrogen in our bodies? So that means we struggle to really sustain motivation. It's not like when we're in our 20s and 30s and you would look at, say, the Lamborghini, the beach body, and you'd be like, yeah, great, see that? Fixed, locked in, locked on, I want that, I'm going to get it. It's much, much tougher for us. Great, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, gods. So just visualizing success and going, hey, presto, I'm going to manifest it. It does not work. We need the process not just the destination. And it's like when you open the freezer and you got your little batch cooked chili con carne in there and you're like, oh, brilliant. I don't have to cook tonight. But of course, the process was that you meal prepped, that you bought all the ingredients, that you cooked, that you then batched, that then you put it in the freezer. And your entire process led to your relief. So let me show you on my board, healthy habits, oh baby. So yeah, look, talk about meal planning, right? I've literally got the words meal plan in there and I've got a lovely meals, but I've also got ingredients. So I've got all my legumes, which are meant to be good for you, healthy, raw food, and more fruit and vegetables because boy, oh boy, if I don't eat enough fruit and vegetables, I literally am going to have scurvy. So I've got my process here and around my creativity, talking about guitar, I've got like a girl, I'm not sure if you can see this, who looks a little bit like me playing guitar. I've got just a note about lessons. I've got some sheet music there because I want to play some more music. So I've got process in here, process every step of the way. So it doesn't have to be perfect because we know that perfection is prison, but think about the steps you are going to take to get to the outcome. So press pause, think about those, write those down, and come on back. Don't forget, I've created a vision board template in Canva that you can download. Use it as kind of a jump off point for where you want to be. Put images in of yourself. You saw on my vision board, I had a picture of me around my podcast and stuff that's coming out. Give it a whirl. Links below. Do you remember when you used to create your vision board and it was there for a week or two and then you shoved it into the back of the wardrobe because it was getting in the way and it's gone from your brain? What's going to stop you from doing the exact same thing with the method that I'm showing you? Well, we're going to make it stick. So there's research that Dr. Philippa Lally did around connecting new habits to things that you already do, not adding more, because boy, oh boy, we've got enough on our plates. We don't want to add any more. But Philippa Lally's research showed if you do something, then you do X. So for me, in the morning, if I have my lemon and ginger tea in the morning, then I'm going to look at my vision board. It might be that you're commuting. So if I get a seat on the train, then I look at my vision board. So a really easy way to make sure that instead of just going, I'm going to look at it in the morning, then I'm off, bye, and I'll look at it before I go to bed, it'll soak into my brain, but twice a day? No, that doesn't work. If then, connect it to habits. So let me ask you, what do you do every day without thinking? Is it your morning coffee, your morning tea? It could be a commute or your wind down routine, your evening routine. Think about something that you're just like, yeah, straight, have to do it. It's a non-negotiable, and connect your vision board to it. So now in your journal, write down those 3 things. I'll give you a few minutes, press pause and come on back. We're nearly there. How many times do you look at your phone every day? And my mind was blown when I found this research that on average, every day, people like us, people over 45, we look at our phones an average of 205 times a day. So I've shown you my vision board on my iPad. It is also going to be on my phone. It is not going to be on a corkboard hung on my bedroom wall or on the back of my wardrobe. It's going to be with me. When I look at my phone every day, or when I open my laptop lock screen, when I open my iPad, there it is, a solid, consistent motivation reminding me of what I've got to do. I've got to do the work. And the way it's telling me I've got to do the work is not about forcing it, about pressurizing yourself, because you're recognizing it consistently. It's just subconsciously just seeping into your brain. And I think that's the way that for me, I'm going to make it work. And then there's one final piece of the puzzle and you put everything together and it's really going to cement your success. If you are looking to make your midlife vision board the thing, to make the dreams, the goals, the desires come true for 2026. And it's about really listening to our bodies, because hormones coursing through our veins, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, up and down. And so our bodies are having a constant conversation with us. And most productivity systems are built for people whose hormones are relatively stable. Ours clearly are not. Why are we going to work against that? Think about it. You've been working all week. You're like, Friday, I'm going to cook my signature dish. It's going to be amazing. You get home on Friday. You're like, I'm knackered. Let's get a takeaway instead. Of course, that makes sense. It's not about backing down. It's not about failing. It's about being sensible and being flexible. What I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to do a weekly 5-minute, 10-minute check-in. I'm going to lock it down to my Sunday night bath. Sunday night baths are back, baby. And I'm in a relaxed mode then. So I'm going to look at my vision board and I'm going to ask myself, does this still work for me? Do I still want this? Have I achieved it? Has anything shifted? And I'll take things off, put something new on, and just keep on top of it without forcing it. And again, I'm a big believer in just listening to yourself, really tuning in to what your brain and your body is saying. For me, it's about trying to stay on the course, and everything on my vision board is about getting healthier, fitter, removing the fat, learning my guitar, hopefully having a successful podcast, and trying to get to a position of financial peace. And all of those things take steps to get there. Our dreams are valid. We can go get what we want. Stop putting ourselves at the back of the queue. If this resonates with you, hit subscribe. If you're not ready for the vision board process yet, you might need a reset. Go and watch the video that I made about that there. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon.